Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. For today, what I want to do is once again talk about fat acceptance TikTok. Although today I have a little bit less of an overall theme. I just was looking and I found some that were really a lot. And we also have some from Splotchmaker, which she is a very prominent creator in the fat acceptance TikTok space, and I wanted to show something interesting I found when it came to her. But first, we're going to talk about a dietitian. And our favorite William is working with this dietitian, and they are going to describe how to deal with if you should eat or not.
I feel like I don't deserve to eat.
You deserve to eat all day long.
See, you say that, and it's clearly not for me because I struggle with binging.
People with binge eating disorder still need to honor their appetites. Emotional restriction and physical restriction are the same thing.
It's very odd to give somebody with binge ED the advice that they should eat all day and that emotional restriction is the same as physical restriction. It's extremely unhelpful. Now, what I will say as somebody who struggled with BED is it doesn't necessarily always help to white knuckle it. I think that there is a place for white knuckling it, but it really is because when you stop eating all the time, it forces you to see your triggers and it forces you to deal with the negative emotions, difficult, routine patterns in your life or other factors of stress and trauma that are pushing you to have a BED.
Are you sure? Because they sure don't sound the same.
Here's the thing. The number one predictor of binge eating is restrictive eating.
I don't know what she's identifying as binge eating, but binge eating is not overeating. It's not eating a bit too much. It's not, oh my gosh, I ate and I feel full and I feel kind of sick because I'm too full. That's not a binge. A binge is you're buying 2 pizzas, a gallon of ice cream, 2 pies, and 2 jugs of soda, and you're eating the whole thing at once. That's a binge. So I think it's a bit ridiculous to suggest that not eating every second of every day is leading somebody to do that, because you're clearly not doing that for a physical reason. You're just not. And
Giving yourself permission to eat is protective and kind and good.
it's fine to give yourself permission to eat when you need to eat. If you're hungry, then eat. It's not a big deal. A lot of fat people need to break out of the scarcity mindset. It's really not helpful hormonally, physiologically, any of these things. If you're always thinking there isn't enough food, your body gears you towards storing that food. So I will say, if you are constantly thinking about restricting what you eat, then you may start making your body feel like you don't have enough. And it can actually affect your ability to lose weight if you go too far the other way. And if you overly restrict, obviously there will be a backlash effect. So again, it's about being in balance. If you need to eat, then eat. Like, I've always told people that do the protocol I do, like, if you're hungry, then just eat. Because weight loss is not the primary focus of this protocol. It's actually getting your hormones in order, because that will lead to weight loss after the hormones are okay.
So in order to stop binging, I need to stop restricting.
Stop restricting. Stop counting points. Stop putting off eating. You deserve food.
So like I said, I completely disagree with this. I think it's not always a physical thing. It can be a physical thing. If you have done very, very strict diets, I always mention the big two. If you do veganism or keto, those can cause you to binge because you are lacking particular nutrients. And if that's the case, then you will binge for a completely different reason. If you just have straight up BED and it is completely emotionally based, I would definitely try to restrict just so you can see the triggers and you can understand why you're wanting to eat all the time. So I completely disagree with them. So let's go ahead and continue over to Splotchmaker. So this one will be interesting because she talks about how she deals with hate. And I just want to see if I agree or not. So let's go.
If you are someone who is really, really bothered by hate comments still, especially if you're a fat creator, I want to give you some insight advice from someone who gets it a lot.
Oh, really, ma'am? Do tell.
You have to think of it from a perspective of they are showing their own biases, and it has much more to do with them than it does to do with you.
Okay, so I honestly don't agree already. As a content creator, a lot of times the responses that you get, they are actually directly because of how you approach things. So a lot of times it is the way you say things, it is how you treat people that disagree with you, it is just a lot of different things like that that will affect how people respond to you. Now, I would say it's not completely the case. There can be times when somebody will make hate comments that are just really negative or just really extra or just weird. And then with that, it's kind of like, well, whatever. But like, for example, if I get a comment saying, like one comment I got on one of these videos was like, OMG, why are so many young men feminine? I just answered the comment and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say, but I've always been feminine my whole life and I'm gay. So I think it should be pretty straightforward. I'm a feminine gay. And they didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. But, I mean, is it a hate comment? Kind of, but I don't know. Should I not take it personally? Does it not have to do with me? Well, obviously it does, right? So I don't think that she's giving good advice. I think that she's giving advice on how to stay brainwashed, essentially. How to keep an echo chamber alive, even if you're getting disagreement in your comments. How to block out any and all ideas that are not yours. I feel like that's what she's trying to teach. And I've seen a lot of content creators do that with horrible, horrible results. So let's see what else she has to say.
And they'll want to twist it around and say, oh no, you're just saying that to make yourself feel better. But genuinely, it is miserable and very pitiful behavior to be commenting harassing stuff on people's social media, mocking their appearance on social media. That is such lonely, sad behavior.
Okay, so I want you guys to remember this for the next video I'm about to show. But I would say, I don't know, it depends. I think for some people it's an outlet. I think for some people they use it as a sort of catharsis for their internal struggles or their internal feelings. I've left hate comments before. I didn't really do it all the time, but I've done it. I had a messy 2022 on Twitter, okay? I definitely stopped for certain reasons this year, which I've talked about on my healing journey videos, which I'm gonna make one soon. It's gonna be really weird. So just hopefully you guys don't all run away when I make that one. But, you know, I've definitely shifted in 2023, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I've never been a hot mess online. I have. But it's like, I don't really judge people because I've done it too. You know, I think we've all hated people in our lives, or we've hated somebody that we feel has wronged us, whether it's in our personal lives or even within society, right? I know so many people who have talked crap about the government, for example. I've known so many people who talk crap about just everything. You know, different YouTube content creators, different spaces, different groups of people. Like, it's everywhere. So I don't know if somebody who is really hateful is any more sad and lonely than anyone else. I just think that it's something that people do. Like, human beings are mean. I don't know. Like, we're not the nicest people in general. You know, people in general are kind of harsh, you know? So I think it's interesting for her to frame herself as the innocent victim, whereas everybody else is just so mean. Which, like I said, keep this in mind for the next video.
Move, at least try to move, to seeing it as it really is.
Yeah, I don't think it is as it really is. I think it's just that people enjoy being mean, people enjoy taunting others, people enjoy roasting others, people enjoy talking shit about people. You know, gossip has been around forever, for example. So people enjoy all these things and they're just never going to go away. It's just a part of humanity. So it's much easier to just look at the situation and actually work with it, rather than act like you're so innocent when we all know that you've done the same thing, splotchmaker. Okay, let's go into the next video. So remember what I said, keep that other stuff in mind.
So I found out about the shenanigans on Twitter when Fat Feminist tweeted about it. Skinny people using this song specifically about growing up as a fat person to talk about their teeth and how they're too skinny, and
I just think it's interesting how she is in this TikTok, which by the way is way more popular than the other TikTok I showed you. It got way more engagement. But isn't it interesting that in this tweet she is making fun of other people's appearance, like such a lonely person, right? So again, it's like, I would never sit here and do that because I know I've been a bitch online. I know I have. So I'm not going to be like, oh, you know, and people don't like hypocrisy like that. So it's irritating, splotchmaker. And when I saw her sort of swarmy, it just drives me nuts. And that's how you can see like how just, I don't know, nasty this person is. Because people care a lot about that stuff. Like their skin or their teeth or whatever. I mean, people are insecure about those things. So it was just kind of sickening. Especially somebody who wants understanding about their body, to have no compassion, no caring for other people's bodies. It's kind of disgustingly hypocritical.
Such a great analogy for where mainstream body positivity is now compared to what it was intended for. It was created to liberate the most marginalized of bodies, you know, black, brown, disabled, fat, super fat bodies. And now it's been watered down to being about self-love and body image.
What my impression of body positivity was, which again, this is a very ridiculous debate in my opinion. As I've told you guys many times, I advocate for body neutrality. So just acceptance of your body as it is in this moment and just moving forward wherever you're at. I think that's a lot better. Body positivity, it's kind of extra. Because what if you don't feel positive about your body? You're just supposed to force it? It never made sense to me. But when it comes to the sort of impression I had of body positivity back in like 2015, it was people that had scars or stretch marks or burns, you know, or certain things. That's what I always thought it was about. And I can agree with some of those things. Like, I will have stretch marks. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't think people should care about that stuff as much as people do sometimes. But at the same time, if you want to get rid of it or something, I'm not here to stop you. You know, I'm not going to police you for not being body positive enough. It wasn't always about fatness to me. It was kind of like if you had a belly or if you didn't have abs or something, or if you just didn't like the way you looked, then you accepted it. That's how I got the impression of the movement in 2015. And somewhere along the way, fat acceptance took over body positivity, which is weird to me because it had its own thing. It was fat acceptance, which fat acceptance has been around forever. It's been around since at least the 60s. So, 60s, 70s, in that range. So to me, I was just like, you already had a movement, but it wasn't popular. So you co-opted a movement that was popular, and then you're upset that it's not always about fatness. It's very odd.
This song isn't for you. This song isn't for you.
I wasn't aware that Splotchmaker wrote this song. I would like to hear from the artist if it was for people that are not fat or not. I don't want to hear it from Splotchmaker. I don't trust her views on things. I think she's out of her mind on almost everything she says. Everything I've heard her say, I completely disagree for the most part. So when she's sitting here and saying, this song isn't for you, I completely disagree. I think the artist would want the song to be as popular as possible. I think the artist would want to, affect and move as many people as possible just using her experience with her body. And we did talk about this on another video, and that song was extremely popular, even with people that have never been fat, because they relate to what she was feeling. And part of that is the sort of irony of the song, but it's like a beautiful irony where she felt so alone. She felt like nobody could understand her, but a lot of people that are thin could understand her. So it's actually a very beautiful thing. And I'm sure for the artist, it was a very, very healing moment. And even for me, as a fellow fat person, it was sort of emotionally healing to see that a lot of the struggles I went through were not just mine, that I wasn't alone in it. So I'm completely against Splotchmaker in this sentiment. And I think it's very alienating for her to act that way over something artistic. It's sick.
Yes, I'm gatekeeping. Yes, I'm gatekeeping this. This is specifically about growing up fat and being fat.
Okay, Splotchmaker, so am I not allowed to relate to Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift because it's specifically about being a woman that's in love with a man where it wasn't going to work out? Or can I still relate to that as a gay man that was in love with a man that it didn't work out with? It's sick. That's marginalizing. That's toxic. That's gross. I don't think artists want only a certain type of person to listen to their music or to feel moved by their work. Artists spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of effort creating. Trust me, as someone who writes, I don't want that wasted. I want as many people as possible to read what I've written. I would never want to just write just for the vacuum of nothing. So, no, Splotchmaker. No way.
I just really wish thin people would stop commandeering these things and these movements, inserting yourself, taking up too much space.
Yeah, the irony of that is not lost on me. It's very alienating, and you would have just about flip if someone told you as a fat person you're taking up too much space. So again, a lot of these types of women, they do not have any recognition of mutual respect. They have absolutely no self-awareness. They expect everybody else to bend over backwards, do flips for their feelings, while they won't even consider somebody else's feelings. It's disgusting. It's not a good look. And honestly, I don't want your help, Swatchmaker. You make it worse. You are making things worse. I wish you would be quiet. Or I wish that you would talk about it in a sense of that it's just about you. Don't make this about every fat person. Most fat people don't want to be associated with you. I can assure you of that. So, with that, you guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please do like the video. I appreciate you guys so much. I've been really tired lately from something that I will be talking about in a health update very soon that I'm really nervous about talking about. So, I guess I need to be open to hate. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys very soon. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. Bye.